What's up, you mythical wonders, and welcome to the first episode of the Ghost of Thor Variety Show, the variety show with the sexiest audience. All right, so I have a special guest today, but before you introduce yourself, I do actually have a sponsor for this episode, and that is Squatch Gear. And we're going to be talking about a little bit more about Squatch Gear here in a moment, but I want to take a moment to introduce my guest. So, what's your
Spencer
name?
Clark. Um, I'm assembling and I'm orchestrating the Hot Dogs for Heroes event um, coming June 27th through July 5th. It is a charity event supporting Veterans Empowered Together. Um, and it's all centered around hot dogs. We're trying to take a more positive stance on community and bring everybody together.
So this has been something that's kind of been going on behind the scenes, and I've seen like it's starting to become vocal. I saw some promos for it last night and everything. So,
Right.
but even with that, you've gotten 4 or 5 restaurants that have already said like I'm down to.
I think I'm up to 10 now.
Oh, even more than
Between restaurants and food trucks, right, I think I'm up to about 10.
I think that Owensboro is going to get excited for this one
I have
because
seen so much traction from the city of Owensboro, people tagging other people and reaching out. And I've started to see some responses on TikTok, of all places, uh, a place that I don't frequent a ton.
uh-huh.
So it's starting to build some momentum, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I know Owensboro loves their food, and every time that
That's
we
true.
we do Burger Week, which we're going to talk about here in a second,
Hmm.
but anytime we do Burger Week, there's always like there needs to be some other week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, like I imagine 30 years from now, they're just going to do Food Week, and everybody's going to have $8 specials. You
it
know,
what it needs to be is every week of the year. It's 52 events.
52 of
We've
it.
got it all strung out here. Is Fish Week and Taco Week and Hot Dog Week and so on and so forth until eventually Owensboro just slides off into the Ohio.
There you go. Just too much food, and we're heavy and slip up in the Ohio. That's great. Um, so the categories on hot dog. I believe that that's going to be slightly different than Burger Week. Would you kind of explain
Yeah.
how?
So we've got three categories. We have the All American, which is like $8 and under. It's more of a traditional kind of it's just a traditional hot dog. Chili dogs, corn dogs, things of that nature. We have a gourmet category where we're just letting our participating restaurants and food trucks run wild. Um, put truffle oil on it. I mean, whatever you want to do, really. And then the third category is as American as. Um, this was the only way that I could bring in our confectionery and baking businesses. Um,
So you're
and
planning on dessert hot dogs as well, then?
not necessarily. So the thought process behind as American as, of course, the whole saying as American as apple pie. The thought
So
process,
apple pie hot dogs, or are we talking hot dog
horrific,
pie?
also a horrific idea. Please don't do this. Um, the thought process behind it was, what is a definable American dessert?
Okay.
And I asked some people. I threw out some messages and asked some other, like I said, bakers and people who work in the confectionery field, and no one could give me a solid answer. Apple pie, banana pudding, cobblers, a variety of different things. So I said, why not just make this category open? You give me the most American dessert that you can think of. And I don't care if it's peach cobbler, banana pudding, some form of pie. It could be a Derby pie. That's something that came from Kentucky.
Okay.
So,
I didn't actually know that. I
yeah,
figured most of the time things are named for somewhere and then not actually
yeah,
from there.
that does happen quite a bit. But yeah, that was the thought process behind it, and we have kind of a price, an all over price point. All American is $8 and under. Gourmet is $8 or more, and the American as category is sticking to like a solid $8 per serving. Um, and like I said, this is for a veterans organization, so we want to be able to maximize the amount of charity that we can gain um, but also keep it affordable for people who would like to go out and try these different things.
Hmm. So I don't know if you mentioned this already, but like the process of making money for the charity, it's $1 from every hot dog. Is that correct? Or
$1 from every participating item gets donated to vet through the participating restaurant, food truck, baker, what have you.
and
So
I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but that is a local charity that is run by veterans for veterans. They do a lot of good in the community. I've personally worked with them a couple of times. One of the things that I get really excited about is that they have a program where they sit down with local musicians and with a veteran, and
yeah,
that veteran will tell the local musician their story, and then the musician will turn their story into a song, and then they release that on
yeah,
Spotify, and any funds that actually come from the music itself
mm-hmm,
goes to the veterans. And I
yeah,
think that that's a great program, very community oriented.
right. Another program that they have is equine therapy. They take veterans to I don't know the full details behind it currently, but they take veterans to interact with horses, riding them, taking care of them, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it instills a little bit of the empathy back in when you've been off to a war zone or you've survived some harrowing things. I've had several friends come back from the military and be completely different people, and this is just a thing to help integrate veterans back in to civilian life. They also have several other programs. They work with so many other people in the community. They work with every veterans organization, AMVETS, the American Legion, the VFW, which is right down the river here, and several others. So it's a pretty wide umbrella that they cover, and they are some amazing people. I've met with a good portion of their board 2 weeks ago, and it was great to sit down and talk to them.
So, what inspired you to connect with veterans for this particular charity?
So I come from a military family. My father was in the service. I have multiple uncles. Some of my best friends joined the military pretty early on in our lives, and I've seen so many different things happen. I've seen responses, the hardship of transferring back into civilian life. It's never an easy thing, and the story that I like to tell of how I decided to even start this event was I was eating a hot dog on my lunch break, and a song that my father loved came on my Spotify, and it just clicked in my head. Hey, I need to do something that's community driven to give back and to show these people who have fought and suffered in some instances that are that their communities care about them.
And I'm grateful for that. I've got some military members in my family as well, and I think veterans do get overlooked a lot, and I'm
Hmm.
glad. I mean, also though, like this is gonna happen 4th of July weekend,
Right,
250th anniversary of
right,
America.
yeah.
Like
You couldn't have better timing.
exactly. So
So
like this is gonna be great. I would be amiss if I did not mention that we are planning on having. Okay, so I work at the Lot, which is on the corner of Fourth and Center. Shameless plug, but also we're involved in this event,
yeah,
and we're planning on having several food trucks set up during the week of Hot Dogs for Heroes.
yeah.
So that'll be a good spot to get, who knows, 4, 5, 6 hot dogs
I,
all at
I'm
once.
I'm gunning for to fill the lot with food trucks. I want to get. I believe the owner said 10 was his capacity, and I want to get 10 down there.
All right,
So you
so
can you can hit up that spot. The inaugural event being June 27th. I want to have that lot packed. It may be a this may be a dream, but if I can get 10 food trucks down there and they're all participants in this event, then I expect to see Owensboro turn out.
So I know from talking to you about this, you've actually been planning this for about a year, right?
Yes, I've
And
been laying groundwork for it for a year.
the planning on it is still kind of going on, I know, but there's going to be some events that are exterior to just eating hot dogs. Is that correct, or do we know about that yet?
There are some here and there. I'm trying to get a hold of some local bands who might be interested in, and like the inaugural day, who might want to set up and play. I know Vass Automotive is doing a hot dog eating contest, I believe, on July 4th.
Hmm. I heard
Uh,
something about that as
yeah.
well.
And then you've got other events that are kind of coinciding with this. The Friday after 5, you have, I'm sure so many more. It's hard to keep track of a big calendar like that, uh, especially when you're focused on just making this one thing happen.
You do have a Facebook page up now for people to follow and get updates on the Hot Dogs for
Yeah,
Heroes,
yeah,
right?
it's just Hot Dogs for Heroes on Facebook. Pretty simple, plain. You'll know the picture when you come across it. It's a hot dog saluting a flag. Um,
America
yeah,
AF.
right. Um, but we're still looking for sponsors. We're still looking for more participants, um, and we have roughly 3 months until we get to a good place to where, well, one, the event happens, and two, we feel really comfortable. I'm also in contact with graphic artists. There's going to be merchandising, and what I'm trying to do with that is like every dollar from the thing that gets bought also goes to vet. Um, but yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at right now with it.
Well, on that note, actually, this might
Yeah,
be a good time to bring up the sponsor because he
yeah,
makes a lot of products and stuff, and
right.
maybe you can reach out to him. But earlier, I mentioned that this episode is sponsored by Squatch Gear. Don't fast forward because this is really cool information about Owensboro, Kentucky.
It is
There is going
really
to
cool.
be a giant Sasquatch themed, actually cryptid themed festival happening in Owensboro, Kentucky. That is going to be on September 26th. So go ahead and mark your calendar for that. Fred Kism is the person who is one of the people who is putting that on.
Yeah,
It's going to be not a whole week long event like Hot Dogs for Heroes,
right.
but it is going to be a full day. He's got speakers coming in from all over the nation. He's going to have presentations. They might even show Harry and the Hendersons, which that will be a good time.
Classics.
Um, but yeah, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to reach out to him to be a sponsor, but also because he does great work within the community. We're speaking about veterans
Mm-hmm.
for the month of March. Every all the proceeds that he makes from Squatch Gear, I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but all the proceeds are going to go towards something. They're making swag bags for children for the SPC Brandon Mullins Foundation, and that's like a military youth retreat. And so basically, Fred is very passionate about children and about veterans, and he funds a lot of activities that get children out into to go camping or to do military families and things like that. So they're going to be putting like compasses, flashlights, gloves, things of that nature inside of these swag bags, and they're going to be handling them out. So once again, that is Squatch Gear. They are the biggest provider of Bigfoot merchandise in the area. You can find them at 1020 East 4th Street, 9 to 4 Monday through Friday, and they do print T-shirts there. So
Yeah.
maybe somebody to hit up
There have
about
been
some
so many
merchandising.
times I've driven by that store and I wanted to go in.
Dude, you got to walk in.
I
Like they've
need
got
to.
so much Squatch stuff,
I
and I
need
know
to.
that you already love it.
Yeah.
It's and now I know Fred very well. He's a good guy. Whenever I was going through a bad time, I actually hit him up, and he provided some comforting words, and I do really appreciate him as a person, and I
Right.
know that whenever money gets given to him for Squatch Gear and everything, it goes to a good purpose.
Right.
But we got to talk about something else now.
All right.
So, bit of a bit of a big thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Kind of a
you're
big thing.
you're involved in multiple projects, and you've
Mm-hmm.
had a project that you've been working in anonymity, and you've been thinking about coming out of the closet, as it were.
I mean, that's definitely one way to say it.
So we're gonna do a face reveal. Would you let people know what the local blog that you run is?
Go on Facebook, look up Beyond the Menu. That's me.
There we go. So here's the first official face reveal of Beyond the Menu. I've been following you for a little while now since I
Hmm.
found out about Beyond the Menu.
Yeah,
I am very impressed by your technique. I think that you stand out above most food critics, and I'm not dissing anybody for sure, but I think
right,
that you are a standout because of how you go about it. Yes, you have your normal like I went to this restaurant, I tried the thing, these are
right,
my thoughts on it and
right.
everything. But you're going out and interviewing people.
Yeah,
You're specifically like both sides, front of house and back of house.
right.
So kind of explain to people what your vision is for Beyond the Menu.
Okay, so Beyond the Menu, it was a project that started with being prodded by another food critic here in town to use my experience, roughly of 20 years of working in restaurants, kitchens, and the hospitality industry, to speak my mind on things. I know food very very well. You can tell that by the size of me, but uh, that's how it started, and it was very very slow in the beginning. I wrote a handful of reviews. There wasn't a lot of traction, which is fine. That's going to happen. Um, but I started a column, an article called "In the Weeds," as a way to humanize the individuals, the struggling and smiling faces that you see every day when you go to anywhere to eat. It doesn't matter if it's a food truck, it doesn't matter if it's a brick and mortar restaurant, from chefs to waitresses, bartenders to busboys. It doesn't matter. All of these people go through so many different emotional disparities and hardships working in that industry. I know of it myself, which is why I got out of the industry. Um, I felt like my talents could be used for something better, so I started Beyond the Menu. Um, so there's In the Weeds, which is interviews of chefs, um, any kind of hospitality worker. Really, I've pretty much opened it up to anybody who wants to do kind of a little portfolio or interview. Um, and then I started a new series a few weeks ago called History to Table, where I talk about the transition of a food that's common today. My first one was on barbecue.
Okay.
The second one has been pizza, and I'm not saying what the third one is, uh, but
You got screen snipers already? People,
oh yes, uh,
hey, you know you're doing something right if people are stealing your stuff,
oh yeah,
right?
yeah. People with far larger of a following than myself. Um, so history table just discusses the history of a thing that none of us really pay attention to. Like for instance, barbecue was the first one that I did. I had barbecue restaurants reach out to me and be like, "I had no idea. I didn't know the history behind it at all." And when I finish one of these articles, down at the very bottom, I tag all of the local restaurants or food trucks of that particular culinary style, um, to kind of shine a light on these great places that we have here. Uh, and I saw places like Shiloh's Lounge, Hillbilly Barbecue, Van Netten's, all sharing that article. And that was like an immense amount of pride to see that. Uh, the second one was pizza. Everybody loves everybody loves pizza. It used to be America's number one food, and it dropped to number four this year.
Really?
Yeah,
So where's America currently? Is hot dog number one?
no, hot dog is not number one. However, burgers took the number one spot for a
Ah,
solid 6 months, and now
people
it's
were getting hyped
fluctuating.
because of Burger Week.
If you've ever been to Owensboro during Burger Week, it is madness.
We
Uh,
sell thousands of burgers throughout
Thousands
Owensboro.
of pounds of beef. Um,
Like each restaurant is selling thousands.
yeah, we're at 59 participating locations this year, and that's up from 42 last year.
I knew that we had gotten a jump, but I
Yeah,
didn't know how big the
yeah,
jump was.
that's about how big the jump was. For the restaurants, it's hell week, uh, but but it's about exposure, and a lot of people love it. Um,
They get excited.
they do get excited.
I worked a food truck. Well, I'll go ahead and shout them out. It's Lure Seafood and Grills food truck. It's called Bensky's. we were selling three burger
Yeah.
concepts out of our food truck, and the very first order that came up, they were like, "We want 8 burgers," and I was like, "All right, it's gonna be one of those
Yeah.
weeks."
I've participated in Burger Week in the service industry before as well. Um, yeah, I don't think I could do it again. I wasn't I wasn't in the greatest health when I went through it the first time. I don't think I could do it again. And people have asked me. I've walked in to get burgers for Beyond the Menu, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come work? You want to jump back here?" I'm like, "Look, I love y'all. Good luck."
Good luck to you. So you have actually tried a bunch of the burgers for
Yeah.
Burger Week.
Well, not a bunch. Out of 59, I've tried like 12
That's a
or
decent
13.
amount, you know,
Yeah.
like almost a third, I'd say, or well, maybe a fourth or a fifth.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's still a lot of
Now,
burgers.
there's this wonderful couple that I met through TikTok not too long ago. Just giving them a little shout out to Dakota. Uh, they are on track for 37 or 38.
People do take this very
It is
seriously.
insanity.
Like, it's not uncommon for multiple people to be like, "Yes, I tried every single burger. Here is my favorites.
Hmm.
Here is a detailed
Yeah,
review of every burger." Burger Week is a big deal in Owensboro,
it is a
Kentucky.
very big deal.
So,
Uh,
what were some of the standouts for you in as far as
uh,
the?
Hillbilly Barbecue is my top one. I don't know what they did, how they did it. The pickled purple onions are fantastic, and I really believe that they're onto something when they chose to use ground brisket instead of your conventional chuck or a shoulder or anything like that. Flavor Me Crazy, another food truck, fantastic option. The Lore, the
The
the Wellington,
Wellington?
the
Okay.
Wellington is my all time. I wish that was on the menu all the time. I'd never leave this place. um, and shout out to Ben because I mean, he always knows what he's doing with food.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and
Ben's my boss. I
I
mean,
have a lot
this
of respect for Ben. He's
he
a
didn't
great guy.
sponsor anything on the episode.
No.
I just work for him.
uh, so those are my top three. There are several that I want to try and I never got a chance to.
We still got like 3 more days, right? 3 or 4 till Sunday,
Uh,
right?
Still tomorrow. Tomorrow's the final day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's supposed
one
to
more
be
day
March
for
14th.
probably by the time this video will come out, Burger Week will be over, and
Yeah.
you guys will have to deal with that.
Hey, join us for the next one
Yeah,
because it's going to happen again.
or join us for Hot Dog Week, Hot Dogs for Heroes.
Hot Dogs for Heroes.
That starts the weekend before 4th of July and
June
goes.
27th to July 5th. It was going to be the 28th to the 4th, but why not? I want to give people plenty of time
Yeah.
to be able to go and support these restaurants and support Veterans Empowered Together and show out for the city of Owensboro, as our community has always been fantastic when it comes to charities.
So we kind of got on to Burger Week a little bit, but I want to take you back to Beyond the Menu. Well, first off, you keep talking about the article that you write called "In the Weeds,"
Yeah.
and I did think it was really funny that last week you posted. Can't post in the weeds this week.
Because I was literally in the weeds.
What do you want to talk about? You don't have to. I know it's a personal.
Second grandbaby, which at my age seems kind of extreme, but here we are. I mean,
Congratulations.
thank you. Wild ride. But I did get that one out this week. Shout out to Montego's Tasty Tings. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I think you are.
Fantastic place, fantastic food. Love Montego and his wife. Great people. Definitely go support them. They have the bluegrass banger, and it was up there in the burgers.
I know that I've tried Montego's before. I really enjoy their food. Do they have chips or fries? They have chips, right?
They have both.
Oh, okay.
If you can get the fries, they went through this what I called in my article the propane saga of getting the wrong part. Something happened with their fryers. They couldn't get the right part. Then this thing happened, and that thing happened, and it was the last thing that happened was a regulator went out, froze their tanks,
Oh, jeez.
so they couldn't serve the chips with the burger this year. But they finally got that fixed. So
Well, the reason I brought up they've got a special seasoning on their chips, and
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
good. So
He
definitely check
makes
them out.
Montego makes his own seasoning, Ting and Tang, I believe. Um, Mix them together, phenomenal.
Beautiful. So can you kind of go over some of the people that you've interviewed and maybe what you found out about uh, just by conducting these interviews?
Hmm. Well, I started the journey within the weeds with Chef Jared Bradley from the famous Bistro. Um, I've always had kind of a good rapport.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
It is a weird word. It's
Our words are hard for me. Uh, uh, I've always had a good rapport with him, and my wife and I both love going there. So he was the first person that I ever reached out to, and that article just took off. I was stunned. Um, Most of the time, I meet with these people and we have a drink or we sit down and we have a meal together and we discuss things in the industry. I've done Primal Craft Dogs, of Chef Chef Bradley, Black Flame Cartel. I'm gonna have to look at that. I don't remember.
check out Beyond the Menu and you'll know all of
Yeah, check it
these.
out. I've done quite a few of these. I was doing one a week up until December, where I had to take some time off due to health issues, and here we are. We're back in the game. So,
Oh yeah. So you had talked about the history of barbecue and everything, and I definitely want to encourage everybody to go to your Facebook page and read that article for themselves. But I was wondering if you could give us like a few highlights of what you talked about in that article and what
uh,
people found interesting.
okay. One of the biggest things that people didn't know is the fact that barbecue, the word barbecue, comes from natives to the Caribbean. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the word because I will butcher it.
But it's in the article.
It's in the article.
Okay.
Uh, from that point, it switched from the native people of the Americas to Europe, and then it spread through. Eventually, this is just American barbecue, mind you. Um, you had one of the biggest things was the fact that the original pitmasters were slaves, and they were the ones responsible for coming up with the menus and figuring out how to smoke these meats or the temperatures and the seasonings and everything else to please the people that they were unfortunately enslaved by. Um, when slavery ended, there was a spread of barbecue from the Carolinas all the way to Kansas City and down into Texas, and every region has their own kind. Texas barbecue, Need More Barbecue is a fantastic food truck here. They have Texas barbecue. It's all about the meat. There's no need for sauce. There's no need for all these intricate fixings. It's about the meat. And then you have Memphis style, which is smoked and sticky and sweet. Carolina, which is more of a vinegar kind of base, mustard base kind of barbecue. And then Kansas City. Kansas City is the amalgamation of all these things. And if you ever come to Owensboro and you want to get barbecue, you have your pick. Every region is represented here. Moonlight does more of a Carolina style. Shiloh's Lounge and Roll Tide Barbecue do more of a Texas to kind of a Texas to Kansas City vibe. Need More is almost strictly Texas. Um, Not too many Memphis barbecue places here though, so maybe there's something to come in the future.
Hmm. Now I've kind of just got a vision in my head of freed slaves walking across America like Johnny Appleseed, spreading their barbecue sauce everywhere. Uh,
It's just rolling smokers, uh, but it is a part of Americana, no matter how dark the history is. So it's a thing that we all eat, we all know, and it's something that the history needs to be known about and understood.
So, Owensboro, Kentucky. We've talked about it a lot. That's where we both live. Were you born and raised here? Did
No,
you?
I was born here, but I've lived between Kentucky and Tennessee pretty much the majority of my life.
How long have you been like stationed in Owensboro? I guess
I think I moved back in 21.
21.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I used to frequent Owensboro a lot when I was a kid. I lived in McLean County for a while. Um, when I was a kid, yeah, we'd come up here, we'd hang out. I mean, all the places that I knew then are gone, but that makes me feel ancient. Uh,
Well,
but
some of those places only last a couple of months. So,
that's fair. That is fair.
so you seem to have a passion for the community of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Right.
I see you. You're with the Beyond the Menu. I know that you're wanting to transcend Owensboro, but you have done a lot of Owensboro work, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously Hotdogs for Heroes. That's
Right.
Owensboro based, and you've talked about other events that you might do in the future that
Yeah.
would be Owensboro based. Well, what is it about this community that makes you want to invest in it?
Here's the thing: growing up in McLean County, and Owensboro was the place that you went to because there's nothing in McLean County, or at least there was. I don't really know. I don't go back very often. The thing about Owensboro is it has some of the nicest people. It's a beautiful city. There's so much potential here that I don't think the residents of the city realize the absolute capital that they can make this place. Um, back when we were kids, there was the International Barbecue Festival.
Mhm.
Uh,
Which
that
they've replaced that with bourbon and barrels now. Is
uh,
that what it's called?
I barbecue and barrels,
Barbecue and barrels. Yeah.
barbecue and barrels, something like that. And when they had that International Barbecue Fest, you couldn't get downtown.
Oh yeah. No, it
It was,
was.
I mean, 100,000 people just downtown, packed shoulder to shoulder, eating barbecue and listening to the bands. Um, I personally am kind of nostalgic for those days of seeing heavy metal bands playing in one bar, and then you've got a local rap group in another one. Uh, so many things have changed since I left, and I see so much more potential in the city, and it's going to take bringing the right people in to Owensboro. And there's been a huge influx of people coming into Owensboro lately from other places. Dakota, that I shouted out earlier, I believe she said she was from South Carolina. A wild move for me, but
Dude, like so that's when I've been talking to people, that's been like one of the things that I find most interesting is it's like half the people, and these numbers are I'm making them up, but like
yeah,
about half the people are born and raised here. The other
right,
half moved here.
right.
And I'm always like, how did you end up in Owensboro, Kentucky? You want to know what though? Majority of the time it's a woman. They were just like, I came because I was in love with somebody. It didn't work out, but I stayed. And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah,
that works. I guess a man would work too, but
that
it
happens.
is also most of the time a woman, I will say.
That does happen.
Some people move here for jobs. Some people they traveled here one time and they found it to be a
Yeah,
beautiful place. We were talking to some people from Michigan before we started the episode.
right.
And they were talking about how beautiful and clean everything is, and um, so yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, the
Um,
bluegrass, the international bluegrass, is it international?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the
International.
International Bluegrass Museum is right here on the river. They're constantly doing wonderful events.
They'll be doing the Jerry Garcia event this evening.
Yeah, which I regretfully do not have tickets for. Uh, but there's that there's God, there's so many things that are that's coming to Warrensboro, and just kind of a message to the people who live here. Um, I know it feels like a small town. I know that sometimes it's boring and sometimes you feel like it sucks. But it's up to us, the residents of this place, to make something of it.
And I have seen over the past few years a concentrated effort from the citizens of Owensboro to have more to do.
Yeah,
Things like Hot Dog Week or
yeah,
Burger Week or plays. We've got I think 4 or 5 different groups that produce plays
Yeah,
inside of Owensboro, Kentucky, and I think
yeah.
that's
I love the
incredible.
the theater workshop. I've only ever seen I think 2 plays from there
Mm.
since I've moved back. But the what was it, Dracula?
My brother directed that
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
My
man,
brother-in-law was Dracula.
yeah, love that. That play was fantastic.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that that is about the realm of my questions. Is there anything that we didn't go over that you would like to mention? Any final thoughts or anything?
Go follow Beyond the Menu. Go follow Hot Dogs for Heroes. Support local businesses, and you're the only person that can make any changes in this world. And you've got to figure out where you want to start.
Perfect. And on a similar note, thank you once again to Squatch Gear for sponsoring this episode. Go check them out, 1020 East 4th.
Sauce Era shirts, by the way.
And you can check out their selection of the Bigfoot merchandise. Once again, all of or the proceeds from that are going towards the swag bags for kids for that military function that I talked about earlier. I don't have it right in front of me, but yes, thank you to Squatch Gear. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support from the local community. So I have a little gimmick that I say at the end
Okay.
of when I used to have a podcast. I would say. I think there's like 3 lines, and I only remember one of them. But I'll do
Well,
that one.
that's
It's
all
like,
right.
if you would like to support the show, you can do so through Cash App. Our cash tag is Ghost of Thor. That is all one word, Ghost of Thor. And I recently found out, and by recently, when I just got my Cash App and started doing my
Oh
podcast
yeah.
like 3 years ago, found out that I accept Bitcoin. So if you'd like to send me a BitO coin, you can do so through Cash App, hashtag Ghost of Thor. We're also looking for local businesses to sponsor individual episodes. So if that's something you're interested in, very budget friendly, hit me up. Eric Stranger on Facebook. Um, yeah, I think that that's good.
Yeah.
I'm used to outroing with a song on Spotify, but I don't do that now since I'm on YouTube. So
Oh well.
uh,
Uh,
bye.